Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I wanted to talk to you all about my skincare routine. So I decided to come to you naked faced so we could talk about this all natural. So the first thing that I want to talk to you about is my skin type. Here in Los Angeles we only have two types of weather, hot and cold. So in the hot months my skin usually ranges between like combo to normal skin, but in the winter my skin is bone dry. I cannot explain to you how dry my skin gets. In the summer months, the area that I do tend to get oily in is just like right around my nose right here. I'm still dry completely on my forehead, my cheeks, my chin. It's just right around my nose area that I do get oily. Another thing that I struggle with my skin is the texture problem. I don't know what it is, but ever since I was in middle school, I have had this weird texture issue on my skin. It used to be mostly on my cheeks, where if you look at it, well right now I have a couple scars, but if you look at it over here, there are no pimples there or anything, but if you take your fingers and you feel it, it doesn't feel smooth. It feels bumpy, and there are these weird bumps that you can feel that are from underneath my skin. So back when I was in middle school and high school, the worst problem was right here on my cheeks, but now the worst part is on my forehead, right in this little middle section right here. I always have bumps, always. I don't know what it is, but recently it's been getting a little bit better because I found a product that's kind of helps with it. The reason why it bothered me so much is because as soon as I put foundation onto my skin, you can kind of see that texture a little bit more than if I was not wearing any makeup, which frustrates me a lot because obviously I love to do makeup. I just hate seeing those bumps on my forehead. So I'm going to talk about products that I use in the order that I would use them. And yes, there are a lot of products and I don't use them all at the same time. So I'll explain to you when I use them as much as possible as I'm speaking to you about them. So the first thing that I want to talk about are cleansers. There are two that I use that I swear by. The first thing that I use in the morning, every single morning, is this Clinique Acne Solutions Cleansing Foam. This is step 1 of 3. Basically what this is it is a foam cleanser and it has salicylic acid in it. So my skin, like I said, is dry and sensitive, so I do tend to break out randomly, and this helps especially in the morning when my skin has a lot of weird oils that came out in the middle of the night, to kind of remove all of that and stop any pimples from forming. So this is really good stuff. I saw a dramatic difference in my skin from when I started using this. Another cleanser that I use every single day in the evenings is the Purity Face Wash. This face wash is extremely gentle, but it gets the job done. I go through this stuff like crazy. I absolutely love it. The reason why I love it is because it is great for sensitive skin. It doesn't have any harsh chemicals that are going to irritate my skin and break me out. It also does a great job of removing my makeup, as well as really cleaning deep into my pores and making my skin feel clean. This cleanser is absolutely amazing. It's not super fancy, which I like because it's just simple. It has basic ingredients in it, and it has natural oils. It's fragrance free. It's just a very basic cleanser that doesn't irritate my sensitive skin but really gets the job done. So I use this to take off my makeup. So what I'll do is if I'm wearing a lot of makeup that day, I'll use a little bit of this to clean off the majority of my makeup, and then I'll go back in again and re-clean it with a little bit of more cleanser just to make sure that everything is taken off my skin. Another thing that I like to do is use this cleanser in the shower with my Mia 2 Clarisonic. This Clarisonic has really changed my skin's life. I notice that my skin looks extremely dull and unhealthy on the days that I do not use this. This really cleans deep into your skin and brings out all the gunk that's forming from 6 layers within, brings it out, gets rid of it, and makes your skin look radiant and amazing. I highly recommend this to every single person. Maybe don't use it as often as I do, but use the Clarisonic. You will see a major difference in your skin. Another thing that I want to talk about are cleansing wipes. When I'm traveling, I like to keep the Purity face wipes just in my carry-on travel bag, so that as soon as I get off the plane, I can use one of these wipes to clean my face. I also like to use these after the gym just to quickly wipe my face because I don't want to break out, and this stuff is great because, as I said, I love the cleanser, and this is just a cleanser in wipe form. I had a really hard time finding a makeup remover wipe that I like because I have sensitive skin, and whatever makeup remover wipe I was using would burn my skin like no other, break me out in rashes, make my skin really red. And the one that I found that works the best, that doesn't do any of those things, are these simple sensitive skin experts cleansing facial wipes. I use this when I'm wearing a lot of makeup and I want to remove my makeup first before I go in with my Purity face wash in the evening to really clean my face. This stuff just takes off the base and then I go in and I deep clean, but this doesn't irritate my skin at all. Absolutely love these. Another thing that's really important for people who have dry skin is to exfoliate. The exfoliator that I like to use like 2-3 times a week is this Ocean Salt Face and Body Scrub from Lush. It has a lot of great ingredients in here that are really going to help brighten, kill bacteria, and moisturize your skin. It has a lot of avocado and essential oils in here, coconut oil, lime oil, avocado butter. There's just really cool stuff in here and I really love this exfoliator. It's not too harsh and I really feel like my skin feels hydrated after instead of dry, but it takes off all the dry patches. So after I cleanse my face, I like to tone it. And I have 3 toners that are my go-to depending on what I need to do to my skin that day. If my skin has a lot of breakouts that day, then I will go in with my Clinique Acne Solutions Clarifying Lotion. So this is the step 2 to the foaming cleanser. This is the toner and it also has salicylic acid in it, which is going to help reduce the size of the pimples that are on my face when I'm using it. And if I'm having a good skin day, I will spray it with one of these 2 toners from Lush. So I have the Tea Tree Toner and I have the Breath of Fresh Air Toner. I use the Tea Tree Toner on days that maybe I was a little bit more hot and sweaty because the tea tree oil in here will kind of help any breakouts that maybe want to start forming. It'll kind of kill it at the source. But if it's just more of like a, okay, I need to tone my face because just to make sure that nothing happens, then I'll use the Breath of Fresh Air one because this one just is infused with more cooling stuff like aloe vera. So it kind of just brings the balance back in your skin, whereas this one is gonna kind of actually help kill any future blemishes, and this one's really gonna kind of dry out any pimples, if that makes sense. So the next thing I like to do is go in with a serum. So I like to put on a serum before my moisturizer to make sure that my moisturizer really penetrates deep into the skin. So think about it like this. If you have a sponge and you want to put some soap on the sponge, you don't put the soap on the sponge before you wet it with water because you want the soap to kind of penetrate into the sponge and become foamy. Same sort of thing with your skin. You don't want to put your moisturizer straight onto a dry surface. You want to put a serum on first to help the moisturizer really penetrate deep into your skin. The 2 serums that I have been loving right now are by the brand Joy and Karma, and you can pick these up on Amazon. I don't think you can get them in a store, whereas everything else that I'm talking about you can pick up in a store. So the 2 serums that I use by them are the vitamin serum and the hyaluronic acid serum. So I like to use the vitamin serum in the morning time just to kind of put a little bit more vitamin and like plumpness back into my skin, and I like to use the hyaluronic acid serum in the evening time when I'm going to sleep because this is going to add a lot more moisture back into your skin. And this one is a little bit lighter, which is good for daytime because your skin won't get oily from it penetrating too much moisture. But this one really is going to help put moisture back into your skin. These 2 serums completely saved my life in the winter time because I was noticing that my moisturizers were just not doing the trick. I would wake up in the morning and my skin felt so tight and dry, but once I started using these serums in the morning and in the evening, I didn't have any problems with my skin feeling dry even after I put on my moisturizer or when I woke up or whatever. It really just felt hydrated. So these 2 serums, I really highly recommend them. So right now is the time that I would go with any type of spot treatment before my moisturizer because I don't want my spot treatments to have to try and break through all the layers of moisturizers to try and penetrate the pimple. So the 2 things that I like to use, this one is actually prescription. This is called Aczone. So talk to your dermatologist about this. This stuff is actually pretty dang good. But the other one that I use is by Shea. This is their Blemish Clearing Gel. I just use a drop of this and I put it on each pimple. This stuff is fantastic. So if you can't get to a dermatologist and get some sort of prescription thing, this clearing gel is fantastic. I can't say enough good things about it. I really do see a difference when I use this stuff. I've tried so many spot treatment things. I've used the Mario Badescu. I've used, I don't even remember what I've used, but this one is the first one that has actually worked, and this bottle has lasted me, I'm not kidding you, maybe 6 months because you need so little, and it does the best job. And you can put it throughout the day also, just like over your pimples, over your makeup, if you feel them getting bigger and stuff, but this stuff really, really works. So the next step that I would do would be to apply my moisturizer. Now this depends and it changes day to day because I have a couple of products and I use them depending on what my skin feels like that day. In the daytime, if my skin is feeling really dry, then I will go in with a thick shea butter moisturizer. This one is from L'Occitane, and it is the 25% shea butter ultra rich face cream. If my skin is feeling pretty good, not too dry that day, I will go in with an oil. So I will either use this Josie Maran 100% argan oil, and this is the, I think this is the light one, but I'm not sure. Or I will go in with this Tarte Pure Maracuja oil. I absolutely adore this stuff. I've gone through, I don't even know how many bottles of this. I absolutely love this. But do not apply your face oil before your moisturizer because it will create a barrier and it won't let the moisturizer that you put on top of it get through it. So just keep that in mind. If you want to use an oil and a moisturizer, put your moisturizer first and then the oil, or just use your oil and your moisturizer separately. In the evening times, I have absolutely been loving the Origins High Potency Nitamins. This stuff is what has changed the life of the texture problem that I have with my skin. Ever since I started using this, I have seen a major difference on how many bumps are in my forehead area. It has gone down immensely. So this stuff is a super, super thick cream. It does not move. You need the littlest amount to cover your entire face, which I love about it. And Origins is a great skincare brand. All their stuff is pretty much like all natural, I think. So it's great. I love this. And in the evening times, I usually do mix this with the Maracuja oil. So I'll put this first and just a little bit of this. I like to focus this product kind of in my forehead and on my cheeks. And then I'll take the oil and I will put a couple drops in my hand, warm it up in my palms, and then press it into my skin to make sure that it's really penetrating because my skin is dry as a bee. So on the days that I feel like my skin is extremely super dry and I feel some dry patches around my face, I will take a little bit of the Glamglow Thirstymud treatment and just put a little bit of that on the dry areas. Next, I will use an eye cream. I have 3 that I really, really like, but I won't get into detail really with these because eye cream is like more of a personal preference. So I'm just going to tell you which ones I use. So I use either the Enchanted Eye Cream by Lush on days that my under eye area doesn't feel too dry. I will use the Genius Ultimate Anti-Aging Eye Cream by Algenist on days that I feel like it needs a little bit more hydration. And then on days where either I had an allergic reaction underneath my eyes and it's like still going back to normal and it's really dry still, or my under eye area is really dry that day, I will use the Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment with Avocado. This stuff has saved the life of my under eye area multiple times because I do get allergic reactions to mascara sometimes and my eyes get really swollen and big and puffy and I have to go get like a prescription cream to put on it, but then after, like for about 2-3 weeks, the under eye area is just super dry and cracked and swollen, and this is the eye cream that I use during that time. So that is it for like skincare, what I use on a daily basis, but I just want to talk to you quickly about face masks. I have 4 over here that I like to use. The first one that I want to talk about is by Ole Henriksen. It's the Blue Blackberry Enzyme Mask, and I use this when my skin feels super dull and dry and needs a lot of extra hydration. Before I go in with all my skincare, I will use this. So I use this a lot in the winter months just to kind of add a lot of hydration back into my skin. When I am breaking out like crazy, I like to use this Mask of Magnamenti by Lush, and it just looks like this. I think this is their only mask that you don't have to keep in the fridge, which is what attracted me to it in the first place. But first of all, it smells really, really good, but this mask is one of the only masks that, like, when I take it off, I feel like I have new skin afterwards. This stuff is fantastic, and it's way cheaper than the ones that I'm about to talk about. This stuff is, like, amazing. If you want to try it, go get a sample of it. Oh my god, like, woo, your skin It's gonna look great. Then I also have the two Glamglow treatments. I have the Supermud and the Youthmud, and I like to use these not all over my face, but as spot treatments. So what I'll do most of the time is I will mix my face masks. So I'll use this kind of all over my skin, but I'll use this directly on blemish or problem areas. So a lot of the time I'll break out a lot around my nose, so I'll like to go in with like the Supermud treatment and just put that on my nose while the mask of Magnum and Tea is like on my cheeks. And then I like to use the Youthmud a lot on my forehead area because it has a little bit of grit to it, so it kind of exfoliates while it's pulling out all the toxins. So I kind of like to mix those, and a lot of the time I'll even put this on my cheeks and have one of those on my T-zone or whatever, just to kind of combat what's going on in different areas of my skin. So that is it for everything that I use in my skincare routine, whether it's daytime, nighttime, sometimes. If you guys have any questions on anything that I said, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you like this video or found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.